and they own Instagram as well. They own the largest percentage of social media. I don't know what the percentage is, but it has to be 50-60% of that. You look at YouTube. YouTube has had lots of some competitors out there, but YouTube owns the video site. You look at certainly Google and search. Google owns search. They get 70% or somewhere around 70% of the searches. I can't even believe anyone uses Bing or any of these other search engines because Google is the best. And they got the best because they got to be the biggest. And that is how it is with Microsoft. Each of these companies were able to become successful because they were the first ones to become the biggest. And the size then allowed them to become more dominant, increasingly dominant, over the industry that they were in. And the business world, and there's a lot of use of this word, and I'm going to use it because I like it, the business world will call that a singularity, and that is where a lot becomes a few. And that is what is taking place in industry. Lots of people are concerned about it. Because we're not going to have an industry spread where you have the top company having 30-35% of the revenue, and then it goes down to smaller companies that get 4 or 5% of the revenue. That's not the way things seem to be working out in the digital world. It is you have a top company that takes 70-80% of the business, and then it's just crumbs for everybody else. And so you look in terms of retailing, and as amazing as it may seem, that's what's taking place in all of retailing. And there is a company out there that's trying to create a singularity in the world of retailing, and that company is Amazon. I mean, Amazon is, they have the fullest intention of creating a singularity where they will take 60, 70, 80% of all of retail, and the implications of their aggression is really amazing. And you know what? We can see lots of different retail companies that are not going to make it through the crisis. I mean, Sears is going to die for other reasons besides Amazon, but they're going to die. I mean, it's only a question of time. Penny's is going to die. These are old names that have been around for a long time that haven't been able to catch up to what was taking place in the modern age. But lots of those stores that are big stores. I mean, you saw Sports Authority just recently go into bankruptcy. I mean, what? Macy's is teetering on being sold. Everyone is cutting. You know, the biggest trend in retailing is cutting back stores. They're all just cutting back stores. If you saw Ralph Lauren shut their flagship store in Manhattan. I mean, so nobody is safe, and the reason is that Amazon is creating a singularity in the world of retailing. And this is, it isn't outstanding or even surprising. It is exactly what we've seen in these other digitized worlds, and that even Walmart is working like crazy because they know that they're under great threat, that they will be put out of business. And the only thing that's saving Walmart right now is groceries. 50% of their revenue is groceries. And so groceries have been able to save them. But right now you see Amazon, they're relentless. Amazon's going to create 2,000 Amazon Go stores that will only have 2 employees. You walk in, you take something off the shelf, and you walk out. You have no checkout. It'll all be done electronically, digitally. And so that they're shooting for the grocery market because they know what they're doing. They want to kill Walmart and collect all those dollars that are associated with Walmart. And so that we see it, right? And it's in the news every day. It's in the business news. It's not something hidden. It's not something that I've divined, and it's hidden, and it takes a great intellect to see it. It's in the news every day. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is that, what does that mean to us? Right? We're in retailing, are we not? We're in retailing, but we do retail something that Amazon can't offer, and that is that we actually offer a significant opportunity. Not more than the affiliates that are selling a little bit of product. We certainly offer that level of participation as well, but we also offer in direct sales, we offer an opportunity that is significant, that is going to be transformative, it's going to be generational, and that is something that Amazon can't offer that because there isn't enough margins in the product for them to engage in that. And so that we offer something that they can't. Direct sales, when I say we, I mean direct sales. Direct sales offers something that Amazon doesn't offer. But what does it mean when we ask the question, can a singularity take place within the world of direct sales? In other words, one company stepping in, and just like Google, just like Facebook, just like Microsoft, just like the attempts of Amazon, one company in the world of direct sales taking 60, 70, 80% of the market of direct sales. And that, let me tell you this, any company that digitizes their front end is going to be forced to digitize their back end, and that means that a singularity can take place. And so that the industry is making that transition right now. They're digitizing their front end, and the company is part of that. They're digitizing their front end, and that digitization is going to be throughout the whole company. And that we can see in the industry that there's every good chance that we could see a singularity occur. In other words, one company taking 70% of worldwide revenue because they were the first to reach the market. And the way this works is the bigger you become, the more information that you receive. In other words, the networks become the computer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The networks become the computer. Is that when you have hundreds of thousands of people who are connected in a network, is that they're gleaning data constantly. In other words, they're gleaning personal data, they're gleaning data from their customers, it's being absorbed by the company who is participating in all these networks that are being linked together by common exchange across social media, and that information in terms of what's taking place in the market is being digested by the distributors themselves, but it's also being digested by the company. And so that means as this grows, the company using their computer, which is the linkage of all these different networks, they can use that data to be able to tell their distributors that on March 1st, that's when people start to buy sunscreen. And that on their then social media sites, they can start exposing sunscreen. And so the collection of the data, because the networks become the computer, the collection of the data then allows us to become more effective in terms of selling products and offering opportunities to the participants, to where we should be able to take an increasing portion of the market until we create a singularity within the context of direct sales. And that means a single company doing $20-30 billion a year, not 10 billion, but 20-30 billion dollars a year, because they were the first movers into the world of digitization of direct sales. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Wow.
But that is where we stand. Even though it seems small as individuals are participating, but it's the accumulation of knowledge that all those networks create something very, very large.
And we're right at the beginning of that.
And exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Amazing.
Okay, I guess we're starting.